In this video, we're going to continue our series on navigating actions after losing a job. We're going to specifically focus on reviewing your spending plan and managing your cash flow, your income and expenses, especially now that you can't rely on that steady paycheck coming in. So when it comes to this topic, there's a 4-step process you can follow. Step 1 is going to be to determine your essential expenses. Step 2 would be to cut back on the non-essential. Step 3 would be to calculate your shortfall. And step 4 is going to be create a plan to fill the income gap. So we're going to cover each of these individually, beginning with determining your essential expenses. So what's an essential expense? Well, it's an everyday cost that you cannot live without. It's something necessary for your survival each month. Examples of this would be a mortgage payment or a rent payment, right? You need shelter to live, or food, right? You need food to eat and survive, or gas. You may need to pay for gas to drive to work. So these are costs that you incur and you need to spend them within your budget. So what you can do then is list the names, identify all the essential expenses you have and their associated costs, and then calculate the total of all these monthly. And then you want to prioritize your available resources to these costs first. Now, your non-essential expenses, as the name implies, these may be things that you can cut out or trim within your budget because they're not necessary for your survival. So these would be travel or dining out or entertainment. So all these have a time and place for overall happiness and life satisfaction, but we need to be realistic in times of unemployment and cut back where we can and make those necessary adjustments. So again, you're going to list the names and the costs of each of these non-essential expenses, identify those areas that you can cut back for the non-essential, and then calculate the total monthly non-essential costs that you have. And then the next thing we're going to want to do is calculate the shortfall. So what remaining income do you have, if any? Do you have unemployment compensation? Do you have rental income? Do you have portfolio income? Or do you have no income? So first determine what remaining income that you have, and then you can subtract that by your total monthly expenses, so your non-essential and the essential. And that's going to be your shortfall that you can plan on and use for the next step of filling the income gap. So when it comes to filling the income gap, this is where we need to think about what available resources that we have available to tap into to meet our expenses, right? And that's what we're going to talk about more in the next video. But hopefully this provides a good general framework for reviewing your spending plan and making those necessary adjustments during time of unemployment. Thank you very much, and we'll talk about the available resources in the next video. Click the top right of this one to check out an article that provides more details.